Welcome, one and everyone, to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings, episode 302. I am your neighborhood friendly Oxhorn, here as always with my suspenders set to maximum stun, and I'm 2 minutes late, ladies and gentlemen. I'm 2 minutes late. The reason I'm 2 minutes late is because Twitch has just released a new feature that is supposed to reduce the delay between my broadcast and you receiving it. So you know how usually during the show I'll be talking and then you guys, I won't see your responses for like 2 or 3 minutes. Often you guys will be talking about things in the chat that I've already talked about 5 minutes ago. So this new feature is supposed to reduce that, but I had to figure out how to turn it on. So I spent some time getting that. Trevor Green says, headphone warning. He almost blew out my eardrums. Is it too loud? If the consensus says that it's too loud, I'll go ahead and turn it down. Here, let me, there, I put it down a notch. Fedoro Gregoro says, I see no collar. I see no collar. Shirt collar, yeah. I am wearing a collarless shirt. What some might even call a t-shirt. Although it would be a very long tee because it is long sleeved. Anyway, yes, I am not wearing my typical collared shirt today. Because I'm feeling casual, ladies and gentlemen. That's that's the long and short of it. Feeling casual today. Madman Max says, my eyes are burning from the red-brown clash. Oh, the shirt and the beard. Oh, man, now I'm going to have to be color coordinated whenever I do this show. There's that better. Okay. Good. Looks like the sound quality is fine. Lolmanz is in the chat today and says, hello, Oxhorn. Hello, Lolmanz. It's a pleasure to see you in the chat today. So, we've got a great show scheduled for you all. And by we, I, of course, mean me. I am using the royal we. Because apparently I'm a British monarch. There we go. We've got our very tasty Ballantine's finest blended Scotch whiskey. And I've got my tankard of ice water to get me through this show. We are going to be doing some Hearthstone. I've been practicing some of the other classes. That's right. I typically play my shaman or I'll play my warrior. But I have been feeling adventurous, and so I've been playing some of the other classes. And who knows, maybe during the show today, I'll play one of them instead. Madman Max 21 says, hey Oxford, I hope you brushed up on your folklore this week. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But I'm sure that we'll all enjoy your little quiz. I'll tell you what the kind of folklore I know more about. I know a lot about Norse folklore. And my Celtic folklore is okay. I know a lot about Cuchulainn, or Cuchulainn for the uninitiated. And that's really it. I know, of course, Arthurian legends. Lots of folks in the chat today. Man Max says you're using the wrong glass for your Scotch. Am I? Okay. Oh, okay, hold on. I got to get through some chat stuff before we get to the cigar. Andy the DK says, Ox, I just finished finals. Congratulations, Andy the DK. A big achievement. Definitely no small achievement there. It's always a relief to get finished with finals. Elizabeth says, Scotch and smoke rings meets cookies and milk. Well, you know what? Cookies and milk is always a fun way to end the show. Black Shawarma says brandy, scotch. It's all good as long as it's not spilled. Indeed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a great... Dragon XL says, oh, does the great Oxhorn approve of the Minecraft version of himself? Yes, I do, but I haven't showed it off yet. I'm going to be showing off the fan art here in a minute. But before we do, I've got a cigar to light. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've been recording videos about cigars all day. And I'm really excited to show them to you later on. They're uploading to my YouTube channel right now. But I have a special cigar to smoke for you today. What is this? Oh my goodness, look at that. Monstrosity. It looks like a pretzel that you would get at a fair. Or a fete, for those of you in the UK. Sobo33 asks, Ox, were you born with a beard? Yes. Yes, I was. This is not your typical cigar. It's very strange. I just got a new shipment of cigars. Fedoro Gregoro says, it's a churro. Rat Creep says, it looks like a root. It does, right? It looks weird. Madman Max 21 says, what tree did you pull that off of? Well, I mean, they are leaves, so. But here's the thing. I saw this on a website. I just got a new shipment of cigars in, and I wanted to try it. I originally thought that you take this off, and you light it, and it's one big woven cigar that you can just smoke like this. However, I discovered after doing some research that they are, in fact, 3 completely separate cigars with a weird little spout. This is very strange. I've never seen anything like this before. It's got this mouthpiece, a cigar with a mouthpiece, and they've got these weird woven designs. So I'll explain to you exactly why this is. This is not made in the Caribbean. You know, it's not made in the Dominican Republic where I typically get my cigars. It's made in Switzerland. This is what it's called. It's called the Villager Original Crume, handmade in Switzerland. You can see the little Swiss cross there. There we go. And here's the story. So back in the day when they were making, when Switzerland was making a lot of cigars by hand, the workers who were making cigars were allotted their own amount of free cigars every day, right? Because they were making cigars all day, and the manufacturer, the company, was like, we're going to be nice. We're going to give them their own cigars all day. But what they found is that the cigars that were being made were getting lower and lower and lower, and the numbers just weren't matching. And they saw their employees walking around the factory all the time smoking cigars. And when they were confronted, the employees were like, oh no, this is just part of my personal allotment. No, this is my cigar. It's part of my personal allotment. So what they did is while the Swiss cigars were still wet, when the leaves were still wet, they made the individual thin cigars and then wound them together in this neat little coil and then allowed them to dry. Once dry, the cigars dried in this weird, quirky shape. And the reason they did that is so that if they saw somebody walking around with a straight cigar, they know they stole it. They knew the employee stole the cigar because only the curvy ones were part of their allotment. So that's the history behind these really strange cigars. So what I'm going to do, I have absolutely no idea how these are going to taste. I'm going to smoke one of them today. It looks pretty thin. I've got some backup cigars here for in case we finish them before the show is over. But I'm going to smoke one of these weird, curvy little Swiss-made cigars. And we'll see if it's any good. So let me get a little bit of cedar. Oh, that's weird. It's plastic.
You are listening to Radio Dismute. Radio Dismute. happymusicradio.com.
Save as much of that cedar as I can. Okay, well there we go. I've got this weird little magic wand looking thing. I feel ridiculous. This is really, really thin. Rat Creeps asks, how does it taste? It's good. I mean, it's a cigar. I can't complain. I didn't even know the Swiss made cigars, but hey, it's not bad. It's burning a little funky. Right, I don't even care at this point. I want to touch it up. The almighty Dirty Jake says you've never looked classier, Ox. Good. I'm hoping I can stay that way. The Black Shrumma says, seriously, you need to be chugging from the bottle with that cigar. It'll complete the image. Well, this is a new experience. Look, even the ash is crooked. Whoa. Okay, well, this is interesting. Probably won't last long, but it should last long enough. All right, well, thank you, everybody, for being patient with me while I light my cigar. It's now that time of the program. Oh, you know what? I haven't told the world that we're live yet. You guys are special. You got to see the before announcement part of the show. Cool. Man. Whew, it's producing a lot of saliva for some reason. Okay. There we go. Another master tweet authored by yours truly. All right, so lots of great fan art submitted today. So for those of you who are new to the program, what we do is I take fan art submissions on our Facebook group. It's facebook.com/groups/Oxhorn. Join the community. It's open to anyone. I have to approve you, but it's open to anyone. And I'm going to go ahead and show off some of the fan art today. There we go. So this first one comes from Imagine Justin. You were on the program, good sir. Oh wait, no, that's SpeakPipe. That's later. He says, enjoying some bacon before the show, including some bacon-flavored Pringles. I should also say that this bacon should always be enjoyed on Thursdays. Well, I am a big fan of bacon. I've never had bacon-flavored Pringles, so I'll have to take your word on how good it tastes, but it looks interesting. Then there's this, submitted by Damon LaRue, and he says, both delicious and patriotic. What else could you ask for out of your food? And it is nothing more than the United States of America, shaped out of bacon on a grill. I am now ravenously hungry. Then there's this from Dylan Rezian, and he says, all right, lads and lasses, I've got two sides. A modded Minecraft version where our amazing host strives himself atop a mighty mythical beast. Okay, so here I am. Here I am in Minecraft. There's my hat, and there's my suspenders, and there's my beard, and I'm riding a giant mythical Minecraft beast. It looks like a like a spider robot or something. Yeah, he says, couldn't find a Minecraft mod to have a Kodo, so had to improvise. Sorry, Ox and fans. Intrusive Hobbit. Oh, is that supposed to be a Kodo? Alright, I like it. Well, I like it. Thank you for that one, Dylan. Very creative. And then Matt is asking us some questions, and he says, Ox, I'm about to buy my first humidor, and I need your expert advice. What do you think of Humicare Black Ice? Wait a minute. Isn't that a question from last week? That is a question from last week. And I moved it to the top of the stack, so sorry about that. I answered that last week. And finally, here's another one from Dylan, and it's another version of me in Minecraft set against this really cool fortress, which looks pretty neat. Well, thank you for that very much, Dylan. And thanks, everybody, for your submissions this week. If you would like to submit your own fan art to the program, just go to facebook.com/groups/Oxhorn and join the group there, and we'll be able to publish those for you. Next up, we have some spoken words for the show today. Let's see, who's on the program first?
Greetings, Oxhorn. It is Madman Max here once again for your weekly mythological question. Right, today's question is, what two, and I do mean two, it is a combination of two creatures. It is either horse-human, horse-dog, or horse-mouse. This creature lives in the sea and cannot cross running streams, so it does come onto land from time to time. So I want you to decide which one of these creatures it is, and I shall give you the answer in chat later tonight.
Okay, well, a horse human is a centaur and it doesn't live in the sea. The other options were a horse mouse or a horse dog.
Greetings, Oxhorn. It is once again for your logical question. Today's question is, what two, and I do mean two, it is a combination of two creatures. It is either horse-human, horse-dog, or horse-mouse. Well, mice can't swim. So, well, I mean, they can swim, but they're not excellent swimmers. So I'm going to go with dog. Horse-dog. Is that the mythological creature? And what's it called? So we will look ready for the answer to that question in a moment. It can't be horse-human. That would be a centaur. And centaurs don't live in the sea, right? Baldock says horse-mouse. All right, well, we'll have Madman Max say... Oh, okay, here's his response. He says, the Nukalavi, or Nukalavi, is a horse-like demon from Orcadian mythology that combines equine and human elements. It is a horse-human. What? Originating in northern folklore and the most horrible of all the demons of the Scottish Islands, its name may be a progenitor of that by which Satan is sometimes known, Old Nick. The Nukalavi's breath can wilt crops and sicken livestock, and the creature was held responsible for droughts and epidemics on land despite its being predominantly a sea dweller. Okay, so the centaur in Scottish mythology is actually called the Nukalavi, and it lives in the sea and breathes sickness on your crops. Just think of that the next time you have to kill centaur in World of Warcraft. You're justified. Alright, next up on the program is Andy the DK. What's on your mind, good sir?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from Stormwind City, it's Quickfire Questions! And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's your host with the most. Here's Andy the DK. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to everyone's favorite Scotch and Smoke Rings Thursday night segment. It's Quickfire Questions. How are you all doing tonight? My name is Andy the DK, if you are not familiar, and this is a little game show I like to call Quickfire Questions, where I am your host, and of course, our fine contestant, Oxhorn, the Bearded Beardsman, is our guest. How are you doing tonight, Ox? Hope you're doing well, fine sir.
Thank you,
Are you ready for some Quickfire Questions?
I'm ready.
Here we go. Today is all about classes in World of Warcraft, Ox. Hope you are ready. Here we go. Question number 1. What are the rogue's 3 talent specs? Question number 2. At what level can a paladin equip plate mail? And question number 3. How many classes can transform into a different being? As in a warlock's demonology? As in a warrior's avatar? How many are there? And that is that, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed the questions. As always, be sure to get your Murloc spayed or neutered. Thank you everyone for watching. As always, I'm your host, Danny the DK, reminding you all to stay classy. See you next week, ladies and gents. Take care.
Okay, so there's the druid that can shapeshift into a variety of things. The shaman that can shapeshift into the little shockhound things. Then there's, as you say, warlock, which can shapeshift into the demons thing. The warrior can shapeshift? Really? Alright, warrior, shaman, priest. Can priest? No. Rogue. Alright, I'm going with 3. 3 is my answer. 4! No, because you said warrior. Alright, I'm going with 4. That's my answer. And then the rogue specs. The rogue spec lines. Okay. There's stealth. And damage. And health. Right? Look, Mortus is my rogue, and I haven't played him for like 5 years. It's been a long time. It has been a very long time since I've played my rogue. And, what was your second question? I forget.
Thursday night segment questions where guest, how are you? Here we go. Paladin equip plate mail.
Oh,
and
at what
question
level
number
does a paladin equip plate mail? I'm thinking level 40. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it, ladies and gentlemen. Combat and assassination, says Black Shawarma. Subtlety. Oh, that's right, subtlety. I forgot about that. I'm reading everybody's comments. I'm not getting this myself. You guys are helping me out, so thank you for that. Big Stacks 2 says, oh, I feel the pain of sickness today. Used a whole box of tissues. Oh, you poor guy. Look, my wife is pretty sick today. I don't know if it was food poisoning or what, but she's been she's had a rough day today. So, my prayers to both you and to my wife. Hope you both can get healed up soon. Imagine Justin asks, Oxhorn, is there a new PO box? Not yet. I told you about my horror story about going to the post office last week. I'm gonna have to try that again here soon. Sorry, there's a lot of stuff going on in the Twitch chat right now. Cigar Ox says, I have a solution for your mail problem. Forward your mail from the old P.O. box to your home address. That way, Cigar Ox can send some fine cigars and something special for the 6th year anniversary show. I've already done that, right? So I've got it set up so that any mail sent to my old P.O. box goes to my home address. However, even though I have that set up, I've gotten a few emails from people who have tried to send me things and it's been returned to them. And yet I've also gotten a lot of mail from my old P.O. box too. So I'm seeing that sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And I'm not sure why. So Cigar Ox, if you want to risk it, feel free to send it to my old P.O. box. It should get to me, but there's no guarantee. In the meantime, I'm going to continue to try and open up a new P.O. box once the post office near me actually has room. The Fugu Network says, is that a diesel cigar? It's not. It is a very strange Village. Let's see if I can get the light just right. Original Krume, made in Switzerland. It came in this weird knotted bundle, but as you unwind them and begin to smoke them individually, this is what they look like. I have another one. I should save that and smoke all three at once for the 6-year anniversary or something like that. I'm thinking about it. This kind of feels like a cigarette to me. I mean, I've never smoked cigarettes, so I wouldn't know, but it just, the weight of it is so different from what I'm used to. I'm used to like a really heavy cigar, but this is just kind of flimsy and I gotta get used to it. Imagine Justin says, what does this cigar taste like? It's a little grassy. That's a good way to put it. It's not unpleasant at all. I'm enjoying this smoke. But I definitely taste a little bit of grass, and it's a little ashy too. That could be because I take a long time to knock the ash off. To de-ash it. And it's weird smoking through this plastic tube. It's stuck in there good. They used some sort of vegetable-based glue to get that on there. It's interesting. Madman Max says maybe they were meant to be smoked all at once. That's what I thought when I bought them. But I saw some videos of people smoking them online. And then I read the description on how to smoke them from the website, which is where I got that story about why they were made this way. And I learned that you really are supposed to smoke them individually. Woo! That was a really ashy bit. Seshi says, assassination, combat, and sub for rogues. And yes, level 40 for paladins to be able to wear plate. It's the same thing for hunters and shamans to be able to wear mail at 40. I knew I remembered that from somewhere. My years spent playing Vanilla WoW have come in to be useful. Okay. What's that about video problems? Did it get synced? It did, didn't it? Oh no, there we go. Let's make that a little warmer. Let's turn that down a little bit. Let's pump up the contrast. Just like you pump up the volume. Sorry. That wouldn't be a good drop the bass guy or whatever. Save. Alright, there you go. Color's a little better there. Mr. Tumnus says the Worgen, Druid, Shaman, Warlock, Priest can shapeshift too. But I believe he asked about just classes. The Worgen can shapeshift due to its race. Not due to its class, right? So Druid, Shaman, Warlock, Priest. So I missed Priest. Alright, everybody's wanting me to mention my book. And I would talk about my book, The Tale of Cloron Hastings. If I could find it. I had it last week, my book, The Tale of Cloron Hastings. But for some reason, I can't find it. I must have put my book, The Tale of Cloron Hastings, back on my bookshelf somewhere, because I can't seem to find my book, The Tale of Cloron Hastings, anywhere around here today. So I guess I'm just going to have to go an entire episode without talking about my book, The Tale of Cloron Hastings, at all. Cheers. Oh! It's easy to relight. I don't burn my mustache. Oh, it's got this autofocus thing going on. Ah.
Silly camera. Ironbark is in the chat. Better late than never, he says. Good evening, all. Good evening to you, Ironbark. Pleasure to see you, my friend. Andy the DK says, Ox, do you ever have a nice light cigar in the morning with coffee or tea? It's actually quite relaxing. I did it once. I was camping, and I brought some cigars with me, and I was with some friends, and we were out in the woods, and we were watching the sunrise. We got up really early because the crickets and the birds, they were just making all sorts of racket, and so we had the fire going, and we had our little cup of water, and we were boiling water to make some instant coffee, and I pulled out a cigar and watched the sunrise, and it was nice. It was really relaxing. But no, typically I smoke my cigars at night. If I smoke too early in the morning, especially before breakfast, I don't know, it just doesn't feel good. So I typically wait until the day is almost done, and then enjoy it with a nice glass of scotch. It's Raleigh says, are you Kevin Smith's brother mixed with some Harry Potter? It's these glasses, man. Look, these glasses existed long before Harry Potter. I even had a pair with black rims that I wore for the longest time, but I had to get these with gold rims because everyone kept on mentioning Harry Potter with my black rimmed glasses. So now no one can mistake me for Harry Potter. This is weird. I can talk with it in my mouth. Cigar Ox says, any chance on featuring Skype in future shows so the masses can see Cigar Ox in his smoky glory? I would love to. I can't remember. You weren't on when we did the 300th episode, were you? I don't think you were. But that's when we went through a lot of the people in the chat and showed off. They had a chance to talk and show themselves off. Ironbark says, wait, Ox is wearing glasses for the fun of it? No. Trust me, I do have a prescription. I had a prescription, but these are perfectly round. So all I did is buy a new frame, take the lenses out. Look, here's proof that I'm wearing a prescription. This is what I see. Oh, wow, that doesn't really do anything. Oh, come on! Don't make me a liar, glasses. Oh, what? It looks as if... I promise you, these are prescription. Oh, come on. It's the autofocus. That's what it is. It's got to be the autofocus. These are not just for show, okay? They are prescription. Ironbark says, I must have missed a lot. You had surgery to correct them. Lol? Yeah, I did. Yep. Fedora Gregoro says, proof that webcams never lie. I did have laser surgery. This was years ago. I had laser surgery on my eyes. But the way the laser surgery works is in order to focus your eyes, they burn away a lot of the material of your lens that causes it to be warped. So I had a warped lens, and they just burned away the part of the lens that was warped to make it a focused lens. However, even though they are using lasers, they're not 100% precise. And my eyesight has... I honestly don't know if I would do it again, if I could do it all over again. It was expensive, and my night vision is a lot worse than it was beforehand. My night vision with just my regular eyes and glasses was much better than my night vision with these glasses and my laser eyes. My laser eyes. But it's not that I can't drive at night, but at night when I'm driving, any lights that I see, they look a little smeared. They just kind of smear a little bit. And that's due to these optical effects that the laser did on my lens. It's weird, it's hard to describe. But even though I did get the laser surgery, Lasik, yes, Mr. Tumnus, my eyesight's not perfect. So when I put these on, I can see much better. But I guess it is a slight prescription, which is why you didn't see it in the video. This is so weird. Greg Hartine says, I remember that episode, the one where Oxhorn wore shades for an entire episode. Yeah, the day after my surgery, I championed forward and I went ahead and did the show. And I had to wear shades the entire time because my eyes would have freaked you out. They were bright red. It was crazy. But they healed up really quickly. And it's true. Like, immediately, as soon as they finished the surgery, they put the flaps of skin back over your... I'm sorry, I don't want to gross anyone out if you're eating right now. But in order to do the surgery, they cut a slice in your eyeball and they lift up the flap to get to your lens. And then they laser the lens and then put the flap back down. And then, within 5 minutes, I had 20/20 vision. It was that quick. It was amazing. Dragon XL says, hey Oxhorn, curiosity, do you collect, or have you thought about collecting, any performing medieval arts, such as the French way of fighting with polearms, or the Scottish martial arts with blades, etc.? I'll tell you the closest I ever got. When I was younger, I was like 18. I was really into claymores. Flappening says, did it hurt, Oxhorn? No, it didn't hurt at all. And the reason it didn't hurt is because your eyeball does not have any nerve endings. The reasons your eyes hurt sometimes is actually because of the nerves in your eyelid. The pain receptors are all in your eyelid. If you get something stuck in your eye, it's your eyelid that's actually feeling the pain, not your eyeball. Your eyeball doesn't have any nerves in it. So I just peeled my eye back like this. They used a very sharp blade to just go whoosh, right around the ball, and then lifted it up, and I didn't feel a thing. So now that you've all vomited, let's continue with my story. When I was younger, I was really into claymores, and I liked really big swords. And I went to my local medieval supply shop or whatever, and they had this beautiful claymore hanging on the wall. And I went up to the guy and I said, "Oh, is that battle worthy?" It was like $50. And he looked at me with a straight face and says, "Yes, you could kill someone with it." I'm like, all right. So I buy it, and I take it home. Oh, Black Shawarma's heading out. All right, Shawarma. Well, thank you so much. Hope I didn't gross you out. Anyway, thank you, Shawarma. Good to see. Thanks for moderating the chat. Anyway, so I bought this sword and I took it home and I had it in my hands and I'm like, all right, this is a battle-worthy sword, and I'm swinging it around and I'm bending it. I'm in my yard, being the idiot that I was, and it bends. The blade was so heavy that it just went. And of course I realized, no, it was not battle-worthy. Not battle-worthy at all. I take it back and I kick up a storm. I'm furious. I'm like, this guy told me it was battle-worthy. And look at what happened. This flimsy piece of aluminum foil has bent in half. And they of course gave me a refund because I was livid. I was pretty upset. But after that I was like, you know what, I'm just not going to do this anymore. Why? I'm never going to need a battle-worthy sword. Unless, maybe I've got a home intruder. Have you seen those videos of the katana aficionados? These guys that collect katanas, and they spend a lot of time and energy making sure that they get battle-worthy katanas or tantos or whatever. And there are videos of these guys defending themselves from home invasions with swords, which is pretty amazing. I have to give them props for that. But I've never wanted it. Since then, I've never really wanted a real sword. Now, one thing I would do. If I was younger, and if I was more lithe, I can't think of a finer way to get my daily exercise in than to learn fencing. It fascinates me, just the rules of fencing. Not to really have a sword fight, but to learn the ins and outs of fencing, the rules of fencing, to put on the mask and to get the little pointy thing. It's not really a sword, is it? I don't even know what it's called. I know nothing about fencing. But to learn how the athletic side of fencing would be fun. So maybe someday when I'm slimmed down and I gain 10 years of youth back or something, I'll be a fencer. Ah, my beautiful wife, Nova Domina, is in the chat. Everybody wish her well. She's had a pretty rough day, feeling pretty sick. Tell her to get better. Baldock says, I forgot to mention, last week I had a shot of Glenfiddich. Neat. Do you think it's neat, or did you have it neat? Like without ice. Madman Max 21 says, Ox, your scotch looks lonely. Chin chin, chin chin. Ghoulbreath says, fencing? I fence. Really? You'll have to let me know how you enjoy it. Would you recommend it as an athletic activity? For someone as robust as myself? Ooh, ooh. Ooh, got a bitter bit there. Ah, that was weird. Well, it's as I said in another video I did on YouTube. As you smoke a cigar, a lot of the tar and the nicotine sort of collects towards the bottom of it. And with this weird plastic tube, it's kind of draining out a little bit. Ironbark says, I helped build a fence once. Does that count? Yes. That counts. Ulfer17 says, you could give Kendo a shot, but the armor is pretty heavy. Yeah, I don't know if I have the dexterity to do Kendo. I've seen videos of young boys doing Kendo, and oh my gosh, that would just be really rough. That's a lot of physical activity. With fencing, at least you can stand up straight. Just not a lot of bending. But with Kendo, you're like, whoa, action stance. If I'm going to do physical activity, I want to do it on my feet. It's appealing to me. Could be my ignorance of the sport. Admittedly, I know nothing about it. But, Ironbark says, fencing on the fence requires exquisite balance and pose. A tip from me to you. I suppose it would. Imagine Justin says, smoke in the glass, Oxhorn. Alright, here we go. Time for a smoke trick. Smoke in the scotch in the glass. Ah! Good day, sir. Cheers. Madman Max says, smoke on the firewater. Sounds about right, yeah. That's actually really clever. Nicely done. Greg Hartung brings up a sensitive topic. He says, it's okay, Ox. We all have certain visions for certain sports. Like how a certain team should have won the latest Super Bowl. I know. Oh, I know. You should have seen my entire family. We're in our living room watching the Super Bowl, and they've got the ball, and they're just a few yards away from touchdown. And what do? They throw it. They throw it. Oh. Oh well. It's just football. Trevor Green says, owned. Ha 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 ha. Yes, yes, yes. The typical internet response. Yes, yes. I just can't get wrapped up in football. I just can't. It's not going to happen. I'll enjoy the Super Bowl once a year if the Seahawks are in it. And then I'm just like, eh. How is, how many months ago was the Super Bowl and we're still hearing news about Deflategate? How is that a news topic? All right, I'm just not going to get into it. Not going to get into it. I don't want to talk about football. No, I just don't want to talk about football. Ooh, bitter bit there. Ooh. These are interesting. I'm glad I got them, but they're very strange. Heinbark says, so has Krendor asked you to join him in fishing yet, Ox? No, he hasn't. I'm happy to help out with some voices, but I haven't heard from him. So if you've got a direct line to Krendor, and no one else is... Yes, well, no one's asked me. The fans are constantly asking me to hop on with Krendor, but I haven't heard from Krendor yet, so... No, my beautiful wife. I haven't shown these to Jody yet. Jody, this isn't a cigarillo. This is a village cigar. This is the one that I haven't opened yet, and it comes with these 3 woven cigars. And I'll have to tell you the full story. I already told everyone in the chat, so I'll tell you later. But it's interesting. I'm going to switch to a different one here when we do some Hearthstone. I'm almost done with this one. She says, I was going to say, I thought you hated cigarillos. Well, I don't... Yeah, it's pretty strange. I don't hate cigarillos, but it's got to be a good one. These are okay. These are okay. The One Negro says, it's been a while since I've stopped into your stream. I see you've moved your streaming location from the porch. Indeed, I've actually moved houses. So my beautiful family and I are in a brand new house. We're renting. And this is my studio, also known as the garage. But it's great because it's cool in the summer, and I can put a little space heater in here during the winter, and it's a lot bigger than my other studio. As Greg Hartung will readily assure you, because he actually came over and co-hosted the show with me once. Me, my brother, and Greg Hartung in that little closet of an office that I used to have in my old place. My goodness. The poor guy. We had no ventilation. We're all chugging on these cigars. Oh, the place was just this big wall of smoke. You open up the door and all the smoke goes... The poor guy. I still feel bad about that to this day. Hopefully he'll come back and we'll have to do this again from a place with better ventilation. It stopped. Okay. I guess that's the end of this little thing. So, since I've already smoked for an hour with that, let's try something smaller. This is a little mini Robusto. It's called Principis, made in the Dominican Republic. I think it's Dominican Republic. Anyway, these are highly rated on Famous Smokes. Is that where I got it? I think so. And they were a great price for a box of 24, so I figured I'd try them out. Nice little tiny, but thick cigars. So let's see if this is any good. And this is why I saved the remaining cedar. Oh no! Come on. Come on, wood! Burn! Chief Smash asks, how many of the people in the chat do you actually know or have actually met in person? That's a question I actually can't fully answer because there are some of you I might have met at BlizzCon and I don't know it.
But Greg Hartung was in the neighborhood, so he came over and hosted a show with us once. Then there is, of course, my beautiful wife, Nova Domina, in the chat right now. And I think that might be it. We had a lot of them come on the show a few weeks ago for my 300th episode. But aside from that, I don't know any of you. Except that you come on the show every week. Madman Max 21 says, "Oh, Oxhorn, I was in a seething rage this week at the results of the UK election because I know the tax on Scotch will be going up again. And mind my seething rage, curse you, jeez. My hair could set ablaze with the rage I feel the moment Scotch prices go up again in England." This guy, he's concerned about Scotch prices. "I shall declare war upon the people who raise up the price of Scotch.
Radio Dismute is now on Facebook.
Scotch prices in this country are too dang high." Well, look, as an American, I have very little commentary on UK politics. My perspective is limited, so I'll happily stay out of it and leave that up to you. But apparently you have seething rage, and I wish you the best. Use a cold compress on that seething rage to kind of get it to cool down a little bit, and you might heal. You might heal. Rogulus says, "I caught this session. I smoked my first Cuban the other day, Oxhorn." Awesome. Well, I hope you really enjoyed it. It used to be that Cubans were the best cigars on the face of this planet, and they still are really good. But in the 50 some odd years plus that the embargo has been active between Cuba and the United States, which I hear is lifting pretty soon, cigars grown and made in the Dominican Republic and Nicaragua are good. They're really nice. If you want to see the quality of cigars, go to cigaraficionado.com, and they rank the top 10, 20, and 30 or so cigars of the year every single year. And for the past 10 or so years, only one or two Cubans make the top 10 list. So other cigars are really becoming as good, if not better quality than Cubans. Drew is a Fish says, "I've missed you, Oxhorn. I didn't know you streamed, man." I do. I've been doing this for years, at least 5 years, since 2009. We're on episode 302. So, welcome to the party, even if you're a little bit late. I hope you join me every single week. William Moore's in the chat, and he says, "Hail, hail, good Sir Oxhorn. I apologize for my tardiness, as I had some business to attend to. Attending to business is a wise use of one's time. But no matter, I greet you with a cigar held high in one hand and a flaming match in the other, and cheers. Cheers to you, William Moore. Thank you for coming to the show. Chin chin." Seshi says, "Can we all get a visit from Nova on the webcam?" Well, as she's recovering from feeling pretty queasy, it probably wouldn't be good for her to get in a room filled with smoke. So maybe we'll have to do that next time. She briefly came on the show a few weeks ago, so if you want to go to my YouTube channel and look at episode 300, you'll see a brief glimpse of my life. All right. Drew as a Fish says, "I'm British." So that probably explains why I've never been awake for the streams until now. It's 4 a.m., yeah. I have to admit, the time zone situation is a pretty rough pill to swallow, but here I am, the Yank that I am, streaming from the good old US of A. Pacific time zone, quite a long ways away from you, which explains why it's so late there. But time for some Hearthstone, ladies and gentlemen, while my cigar slowly dwindles into nothing but a pile of ash. Let's get some Hearthstone on. So I haven't quite decided which class I'm going to play. I might surprise some of you and mix things up a little bit. Oop, Heroes of the Storm. No, please don't start downloading. Yes, we're going to pause that because I don't want anything. Oh, what?
It's downloading a Hearthstone update. Alright, give it a second here. 1 gig left to go. Come on. 800 megs left to go. Oh, okay. Well, apparently my connection is much better than it used to be. Varler says, "Hey, Ox. Alright, I gotta go get off early tonight. Just stopped by to say hi." Well, I'm glad you came by to say hi. Good to see you, Varler. Alright, it's halfway downloaded. Better connection. Thank goodness for that. Seshi says, "I'd trade internet connections with you any day, Ox." In my old place, our internet was abysmal. As many of you will remember, we had so many different show interruptions due to quality of internet. Yay, Hearthstone is now playable. Well, that was a fast gig.
Welcome back.
Alright, here we go. Let's see, what class will I pick? Ah, come on.
Malfurion versus Thrall.
Druid, that's right, Andy the DK. Pleasure to meet you on the field of battle. Time to face my level 16 Druid.
Greetings, friend. My greetings.
Trevor Green says Ox is so boned. Hey, hey, hey. Stop learning from experience here. Who knows, maybe I'll pull this out.
Now that I have found thee, I will have if
For the wild.
Eat. Eat my pain.
you seem to be someone
Probably shouldn't say that ever again, huh?
looking for. Seems to me, maybe see, you're the someone I adore.
Alright, get yourself a feral spirit going on here. Huh? Okay.
My discovery.
Oh, God blimey.
What a break. Am I awake? I can't believe that it's true. Hear my heart. I'm in a tune. I never knew my heart could sing. And I know it's you.
Drew as a Fish says, "Is swearing banned on this stream?" Yes, we maintain classy language here at ScotchAndSmokerings.com. If you're going to swear, use my invented swear words. That is what they're there for. But thank you for asking.
How does it seem to you? Seems to me, you seem to be someone I've been looking for. Seems to me it's a big
I must safeguard them.
you're the someone I adore. What a thrill, what a thrill.
No worries, Drew as a Fish. No worries.
What a break.
Pleasure to have had you, Mr. Tumnus. Be sure to tune in next week.
I can't believe that
What are your invented swear words? Asks Patrick Sloll, and Madman Max Twin One says, "Can we get a reminder?" You bet you. Bloit, Blit, Chack, Flack, Grat, or Walsh. Choose any or all of your favorites. And what is this? Do we have 2 3 damage minions with Wind Fury? Of course we do.
I'm really in love. I think my worries are. It seems to me, but how does it seem to you?
Feel nature's wrath. For the wild.
Patrick's Law says your stream and your classical theme look with cigars is Czech as grat. Awesome as Czech. I'm glad you think so. Boy, yeah. Holy cannoli! Andy, man! Way to tear me up. Jeepers.
I can be happy, I can be gay, but only weather away.
Man. Oh, what? I'm not having fun right now. This is not entertaining. Yes, yes, yes. Forget my druid. No longer experimenting. Going back to what I'm good at. Jeez.
I want to spread it around. The world must know what I've found. If ever you're feeling blue, then let me sing it to you.
Where shall I strike? For the wild. Job done.
Rogula says this will be some blit if you don't win. Yes. Thank you, Andy. Alright, trying something else. Ah, come on, what's going on here? Darn you, Hearthstone.
Brawl versus Anduin.
The light shall bring victory.
Alright, what's my chance of winning now, Trevor? Zero percent. It's 0% this turn too. Okay. Cheers to 0%. Baldock says, "Be humble." All right. I got to work on this. Here we go. Humble, being humble. Here we go, humble. This turn.
One of us was wrong, so we part. One of us was wrong, and now we're through. Don't know who's to blame, but it's all the same. I just know that I'm alone and blue. One of us was wrong, and so we quarreled.
Andy the DK says, "Good game, Ox. Sorry, that was harsh." Yes, yes, it was. That was harsh.
I'll find her and tell her I'm
But well played, good sir. Well played. This is a fine little stogie. I'm not complaining at all with this little guy. Well done, Magin Justin.
Job's done.
Madman Max says, Oxhorn, you're going to have to take another sip. And every 3 losses, you must tug on your beard as well as take a sip of scotch. So when did this show become a drinking game? Oh yeah! I mean, oh, I just got lucky. That was my humility. I'm being humble.
As the Packard Hour whirls away its last few seconds, Johnny Green's music gives you a preview of Fred Astaire's featured musical number of next week's Packard Hour, Top Hat, White Tie, and Tails. And with Fred Astaire next week, more Charlie Butterworth, more Johnny Green music, and a dramatic treat postponed from this week, a world-famous happy play. Entertainment gathered together for your pleasure by Packard, makers of America's finest motor cars. Until then, ask the man who owns one.
Roxers, boxers. My beautiful wife asks a pertinent question. She says, does it matter that if the person you're playing is watching the show that they could cheat? Sorry, I don't know much about this game. And yes, it is possible. However, I trust everybody who is watching this program, and I have the highest regard for their morality. And I know that they would never cheat. Andy the DK says, Ox, have you ever had one of the Padron anniversary cigars? No, I haven't, but I'd like to try one. They are very pricey. And do you also, what do you think about the cigars / money value? I've gotten cheap cigars that have tasted better. Great question. Let me get to that in just a second.
You won't be hard to save. Oh, get ready to fail. Keep standing on the brink.
I haven't had a Padron anniversary, but I would like to try one. You'll have to let me know what you think. And in my opinion, you can get, I mean, it's true that the higher you spend, the more money you spend on a cigar, you're likely to get a better quality cigar. It's just the truth that in this particular industry, you get what you pay for when it comes to cigars. That said, there are a few gems. And the best way to find them is to multitasking is to go to popular cigar forums and ask around. I discovered a lot of really high quality cigars because I went to the Reddit subreddit on cigars and I just asked them. I said, what are some of the best cigars that you can recommend that are also fairly inexpensive? And they provided me with some excellent examples. And I purchased some of those. Some were good, some were not. And then I also looked at reviews on cigar websites. And I tend to buy based on reviews. So my goal is to buy cigars that are less than $2 a stick, and it's hard to do that. It's hard to get quality cigars that are less than $2 a stick. But they also tend to give you better discounts in bulk, so if you can find a nice box of 25 cigars, 25 to 50 cigars. Well, I would go with 25 because you don't want to have 50 of the same cigar because that might get old. But get a nice box of 25 cigars, and if you can find some that have excellent reviews but are about $2 a stick, that's probably the best way to go. Drew as the Fish says $2 seems steep. Indeed it is, but when you remember that cigar smokers usually smoke only once or twice a week, you immediately see that they're far cheaper than cigarettes. Well played, my friend. Well played. Good job, Imagine Justin. That was a well-fought battle. And this is a lesson. I'm going to do better when I'm distracted by conversation. Baldox shares some wisdom. He says bundles are cheaper than boxed cigars. That is also frequently true.
Let's the hunt begin. Victory or death!
Drew as the Fish says you have a fair point. I spend $20 a week on ciggies. UK pricing, yeah. Well, they're taxing cigarettes out the wazoo here in the state of Washington as well, so you're not alone. The price of cigarettes is just going up and up and up. And while they do tax cigars, they don't tax them nearly as bad as they do cigarettes. Now, you can't smoke a cigar like you do cigarettes. You have to smoke them in a particular way. You don't inhale the smoke, and you pace yourself, right? But it is, in my opinion, cheaper.
Hurry up! Portals online!
Gentleman Badger says, will this be your last game, sir? No. I've got quite a bit of time ahead of me. Imagine Justin says, I really hate priests. Well, you did a very fine job, my friend. Fine job indeed.
Engage!
Job's done.
I'll show them. I'll show them all!
Defensive systems online.
Engage!
Uh-oh. Oh, no! Oh! Alright, I don't like secrets, man. I don't like where this is going.
Rapid speed.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
I wield the power.
Well, that means we know he's holding a dragon. Oh, okay. I see.
Job's done.
Yeah, those snakes.
I'll show them. I'll show
Oh gosh. Nah, I'm tempted, but I'm not gonna.
Put this apple on your head.
Oh. Oh my goodness. Now I'm gonna. Bingo!
Job's done.
Put this apple on your head.
Another one? Wow, you've got, Dr. Boom. Well played.
You are listening to Radio Dismute.
RadioDismute.com. HappyMusicRadio.com.
Andy the DK says, Ox, the average cigar in Connecticut is anywhere between $8.50 to $9.50. What's the pricing like where you are? Of course, us and New York are the two highest taxed tobacco states. I tend to buy mine online. Ouch! 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 Whoo! Okay, let's do some stuff here. I buy mine online, and they tend to have cheaper prices online. The taxes are better. So I don't know if it's the same for you, but for me, it's okay. Okay, Trevor Green, you can't say that there's a new percentage chance of winning or not 2 seconds before the battle ends. You gotta predict it a little earlier. Lucky. Both of those got the... Both of them. Wow, lucky.
I wield the power.
Oh my god. Gentleman Badger says, how much arcane dust do you have, good sir? I've got a bit. A lot. I think like 400 or so. Lucky. Oh. Man, you're just getting them all today. Oh, jeepers. Oh, man. Golly! Wow! Well played indeed. Whew! All those death rattles and magic characters are tearing me to pieces. And look at this guy. Yeesh. See, I don't have any of these dragon cards. A lot of these are new. Like, I haven't seen this one before. Oh, that's a good card. Hey! Oh! Oh, man! Oh! Come on! No! No! One life away. Oh, gone. Oh, Greg. Oh, well played, good sir. Well played. Nicely done. Oh, man. Bulldog says, I go to Cigars International, Famous Smokes, and a few others. They're bubble wrapped, and they arrived unharmed. Greg Hartling is magnanimous. He says, so close, Oxhorn. Good effort. Thank you for being so magnanimous, Greg. I do appreciate it. Bulldog says, so close, no heart tongue. Andy says, at least the bomb went off this time, eh? Yeah, at least. These bombs never seem to help me. Like, if you recall, the last time I had a bomb go off, sorry, I need to pay attention. If you recall, the last time I had a bomb go off, the person had so many cards in his hand. Andy, it was you. Had so many cards in his hand that the bomb was destroyed without actually blowing up. So I've had pretty bad luck with the bombs. Gentleman Badger says Mal'Ganis destroys the bomb too. Does he really? Ooh. Ironbark, good to meet you on the field of battle. Andy the DK says, Ox, where do you shop online for cigars? I'm always worried about them getting damaged during shipping. One of my more recent favorite places is going to be Famous Smokes. My last 2 shipments I got from there. I tried Cigars International, but that batch came with cigar beetles in it. so I'm not going to buy from them anymore. And I never buy from Thompson Cigar. Just never buy from Thompson Cigar. Okay. What have you got going on here?
That I'm painting with green. I'm more than a picture. It's heaven or two for me and for you. All the things you idolize. Promise you eternal. Darling, you can have everything. Just say the word and it's yours.
I serve the Fire Lord.
Oh. Nicely done. Wow.
I have no time for games.
Every time that I hear a woman cry, on her man has been stolen, I just feel like saying, don't be such a fool. Better dry your eyes. Can't you realize that you gain nothing by that? And that's no way to keep his heart warm.
Running the program.
What's the use of pride?
Running the program.
If your kiss can't hold the man you love,
Well played.
Thank you. Whoa! There it goes!
if he wants,
Not that it did me much good, but hey! I finally got one to land.
can't hold
I'll
the man
show,
you love.
I'll show them all.
Andy the DK says, no more hippie Tom, but have you met your new neighbors yet, Oxhorn? And yes, I have. They're all really nice. My landlord, his name is Terry. He's the nicest guy in the world. He lives in Arizona, but he comes back into town every single month to mow our lawn. He doesn't hire a landscaping crew. He just does it all himself.
With tears of sorrow. Don't be a regular fellow. Come on, say what the hell. Get it slow.
Oh, man.
And your tears.
And then his brother lives in a house not far away from ours.
But when you're red hot and there's nothing like a weeping wife, drives a man away from home. He laughs and the world laughs with him. Weep and you weep alone. Love is like hope,
Come on, really?
but all men like a little fun on the outside now and then. And if you find your husband is cheating, go out and see. Why, he's only giving it a chance that he's been waiting for 2 years. My goodness, tears get you anything. Come on, clean up, powder, put on your clothes.
Oh, man.
Go out and make whoopee. Then you'll get my clothes. Neglect the wife.
Nicely done, Ironbark. Nicely done.
Just go out and replace it with some good-looking Tom, Dick, or
Well played.
Well played.
Cause if your kiss can't hold the man you love, then you're wandering here
Anyway,
The great music of the 1920s and 1930s.
his brother lives a few houses down, and he repairs old cars.
You can find that artist. Why not email your friends right now?
And I took the boy for a walk a few weeks ago, and we walked by his garage where he was fixing up this old car from like the 1930s. It was one of those gangster cars, you know, where you'd see Babyface with a Tommy gun leaning out or whatever. That was one of the cars that he was repairing, and it's a handsome vehicle, I have to admit. Pleasant to chat with. Ironbark says, that was fun. Nice match, Ox. Nice match indeed. Thank you, Ironbark.
I greet you.
Alright, I think this is my last one, ladies and gentlemen. Cigar is getting low. Imagine Justin says, hey Oxford, have you had any thoughts about doing late night shows again at around 1 or 2 in the morning? I have thought about it. I'm pretty busy these days. With a full-time job and everything. So I tend not to do that. Ah, well played.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Oh, Lee. Jeez, wow, look, dude. Greg Hartung says, think of your setbacks as gifts to your loyal fans. Yes, this is my gift to you. Enjoy this victory.
I can always help.
Ooh, man. Jeez, these cards. Well done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've done taking my beating for the day. Congratulations to everybody who bested me in battle. It is now time to wrap this show up, but before we do, let's get a smoke ship out there, ladies and gentlemen. What would you like to see? Is it a Zeppelin? Is it an underwater tank? Is it a spaceship? Oh, lots of stuff. Okay. William Moore says, Oxhorn sailing the seas in a cigar boat. While sailing, he fishes for red snapper using bacon lures. He reels in catch after catch, but the bacon lure starts attracting something else. The bacon sinks into the depths, awakening something ancient and monstrous. At the surface, Oxhorn is just about to reel in a fish when suddenly a giant kraken leaps at him. Armed with only his wits and a fishing pole, Oxhorn battles the kraken for hours on end. Eventually, Oxhorn defeats the monster. He then... Oh, and then it cuts off, William. Wait, while you get the rest of it together, I'm going to read Madman Max's, who says, my smoke ship is one of tale and fear. The Queen, Anne's Revenge, Oxhorn, and Madman Max, the endgame warrior, fight a hard-pressed battle against Scotch and cigar haters as they fight with swords made from the rare Scotch steel, renowned for its golden brown color and scent of Scotch, as Oxhorn uses a cigar staff to lull the haters into a smoke-filled confusion. As the battle raged on, Staghorn and Mortuz finally escape from their evil tax bonds that held them to the center mast. They assisted Oxhorn and Madman Max, finally winning the day after fighting for a long fight. They sent themselves forth for the Back Bacon Islands that have Scotch waterfalls and cigar trees. The cigar trees grow whole cigars, and also cigars themselves. All right, a lot of wonderful fantasy going on in that one. I love it. To end William Moore's, he says, he then celebrates with some Scotch and a bowl of Kraken and bacon stew. Nothing like a stewed Kraken. I love all of these compliments. A gentleman badger says, I can see your improvement from playing more often nonetheless. Thank you. I am improving. Of this I am pleased. Okay, smoke ship. Let's choose. So good. Hard choice. William Moore. A solid entry. All right, pay close attention, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be on. It'll be before your eyes for only a brief moment. Here we go. Whoa! Woo! It was there for a brief moment, but here we go. Oxhorn was sailing the seas in a cigar boat. While sailing, he fishes for red snapper using bacon lures. Nothing better. He reels in catch after catch, but the bacon lure starts attracting something else. The bacon sinks into the depths, awakening something ancient and monstrous. At the surface, Ox is just about to reel in a fish when suddenly a giant kraken leaps at him. Armed with only his wits and a fishing pole, Oxhorn battles the kraken for hours on end. Eventually, Oxhorn defeats the monster. He then celebrates with some scotch and a bowl of kraken and bacon stew. No better way to celebrate. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings, episode 302 in the bag. I hope you enjoyed our quirky little twisted cigars and the friendly banter. Be sure to tune in next week, same Ox time, same Ox channel, for episode 303, where I will undoubtedly perform with the same wit, charm, and aplomb as I always do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for coming, and as always, we say here on Scotch and Smoke Rings, be sure, my friends, that you stay classy.